Welcome in to Steelers Talk Yinzers. My name is Jack Sperry, your host. On today's show, I'm going to be breaking down Hakeem Butler, wide receiver from the XFL, one of the star receivers from the XFL this year, has signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, of course, Ahkello Witherspoon got cut earlier today. Going to be breaking that down for you. And then also, there's a defensive tackle on the Pittsburgh Steelers that is now out for the season. Going to be breaking down all of that with you here in just a second. But first, get wall-to-wall Steelers coverage and enhance your Steelers fan experience by subscribing to Steelers Talk by Chat Sports today, and turn on your notifications so you know when we put out our videos. We put them out every single day. We have weekly live shows, and then, of course, we have our watch parties for every single Steelers game we're going to be doing this year. It's going to be absolutely a blast. So if you want to enhance your game day experience for the Steelers this year for every single game they play, go ahead and click that subscribe button for me right now. So the first bit of news here is that the Steelers have signed XFL receiver, former Iowa State Cyclone, Hakeem Butler. And Hakeem is somebody that was rumored to be somebody that was going to be at Steelers rookie camp, but because he played in the XFL, he couldn't come to rookie camp. Now the Steelers have made the news official by signing him. He was absolutely fantastic in the XFL this spring with 8 touchdowns. An average of 11.7 yards per catch, almost 600 yards, and then just over 50 receptions. He was an absolute beast this year. He is big, he is tall, he is athletic. When he first came into the league, he had some issues with route running, even with drops at times, and he never really stuck on an NFL roster. There was a team, I think it was the Eagles, tried to convert him to a tight end. That didn't work out so well, and he absolutely crushed it in the XFL this year. Now he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I really think that Butler's role, if he makes the 53-man roster, is going to be kind of a backup X-receiver option for George Pickens. Now, George Pickens, obviously one of the best 50-50 ball receivers in the league. He's big. He's a relatively good route runner. I think he needs to expand his route tree just a little bit heading into his sophomore season. But, man, he's got great hands, great body control. He's one of the best red zone threats, or at least he should be heading into the 2023 season. If something happened to him, Hakeem Butler, someone with a similar skill set, hopefully can come in and be a good backup for you. So let me know what you guys think about the Hakeem Butler signing here by letting me know if you think that he will make the 53-man roster. Type yes or type no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever you get an ad break here, it's coming, guys. It's YouTube. Go ahead and take advantage of that time by answering today's question with a yes or a no. Second bit of news on today's show is that Ahkello Witherspoon, the cornerback that has been with the Steelers last couple of years, has been kind of an in-and-out starter over the last couple of seasons, has been cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now he's officially a free agent. The Steelers now save $4 million in salary cap for 2023, and they accrue about $1.5 million in dead cap space. If you want to see my full breakdown of this move, we actually put out a breaking news video earlier today. Today is Wednesday, by the way, where we break down everything from his stats to everything like that. So you can go ahead and click on that video after this one. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Ahkello, who, you're bringing him in 2021 off a pretty darn good season with the San Francisco 49ers. And he's a pretty highly graded cornerback when he was in the game. The problem with him, though, is that he just couldn't stay healthy. Last year with the hamstring injury, just couldn't get his speed right, and then it just seems like he didn't really fully recover over this offseason, which is why the Steelers are now parting ways with him. Of course, that cornerback room is starting to get a bit crowded right now. You add Patrick Peterson in free agency. You have Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice Jr. added via the draft. Of course, you still have Levi Wallace. You bring back James Pierre. You bring in Chandon Sullivan. This is getting to be a pretty cramped room right now, and the Steelers were seeing that, and they're like, hey, we got Ahkello here that we're maybe not totally certain is recovering from his injuries, and we can get $4 million in additional cap space. We might as well do that right now and get that move done, get that additional $4 million in cap space, and maybe, just maybe, add another another player in NFL free agency. If you are a believer in Joey Porter Jr. and you think he's going to be the next lockdown cornerback for your Pittsburgh Steelers, this is a great opportunity to get his officially licensed jersey from the Chat Sports website. You can go to chatsports.com/Joey Porter Jr. to get yours today. These things are flying off the shelves. I think that right now, Joey Porter Jr. is the fastest selling Steelers jersey that there is out there, even outpacing Kenny Pickett. So if you want to get one before they're all gone, before they're all sold out everywhere, you can get one on the Chat Sports website by going to chatsports.com/Joey Porter Jr. today. Now let's talk a little bit about Renell Wren, defensive tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who unfortunately has now been put on season-ending reserve/injury list, where, he's a defensive tackle, 315 pounds. We actually don't know the injury that is associated with this, but he's out for the season here, and the Steelers needed to bring in another defensive tackle to kind of take his place on the roster here, and they ended up getting Manny Jones, defensive tackle that was put on waivers by the Arizona Cardinals earlier this week. They scoop him off of waivers on Tuesday. Last year he had 6 tackles. Of course, the Cardinals defense wasn't all that good last year. He was more of a backup option for the Cardinals in 2022. It seems like that's the role that he's going to be playing with the Steelers as well. Renell Wren was kind of a backup, kind of a space filler on the roster. So it'll be interesting to see how Manny Jones does here coming up here on OTAs and training camp. So there are currently just 2 spots remaining on the Steelers' 90-man roster before we get into OTAs and all these different things in training camp, of course. The Steelers have 2 spots left to fill, and there are some rumors on just how they're going to address those holes. Will they go out and get a bigger free agent now that Ahkello Witherspoon is cut and you got that extra $4 million in cap space? It's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do. But Bleacher Report, they think the Steelers should go kind of the Hakeem Butler route and go after XFL/USFL players that played well over this spring. The first player that they brought up in their article was Mark Gilbert, who played in the USFL this year as a cornerback. 2 interceptions, 19 tackles, was one of the better corners in the USFL this spring. Definitely somebody to keep your eye on. I mean, I'm not sure if I would replace Ahkello Witherspoon with Mark Gilbert. I might rather have Ahkello Witherspoon at this point because, like I've said before earlier in the show, this is getting to be a pretty crowded cornerback room, and I'm not sure the Steelers really need to add another corner at this point, especially one that's unproven like Gilbert. Then another guy is Tyler Vaughns, wide receiver. So you go out and get Hakeem Butler in free agency here, playing in the XFL. This is another wide receiver here in Tyler Vaughns, who really had a really great playoff run in the XFL this year. 27 receptions overall, 250 yards, and just 1 touchdown. He's kind of seen more as an X-receiver, kind of an outside wide receiver that would be coming in and just kind of being a placeholder in the wide receiver room for the Steelers. And just like the cornerback room, the wide receiver room is also cramped, man. You got a bunch of people in that room right now, and I'm just kind of perplexed as to why Bleacher Report thought, the Steelers really need a cornerback and a wide receiver, even though we just signed a wide receiver in Hakeem Butler and we just cut a corner in Ahkello Witherspoon. I just don't really get the thinking behind Bleacher Report's article right there. I think they'd rather go after maybe a third edge rusher, maybe get another inside linebacker, maybe another strong safety type. But, these are just 2 positions I just don't think the Steelers are particularly interested in filling with those final 2 spots. So voice your opinion down in the comment section here. Which free agent should the Steelers sign next? I can't wait to hear what you guys think down in the comment section. All right, guys, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Jack_Sperry for additional Steelers news and rumors content, film analysis, all that great stuff I put up on my Twitter. So do me a favor here, go to Twitter and give me a follow here at Jack_Sperry.